Hi, Sally. It's great to be back after a week off. My goodness, my stress levels are down. The fires are going to be out. I think maybe at the end of this week. We're lucky.
Best news ever, Harry. Best news. They were so frighteningly close and amazingly beautiful. The photos you were sending through
Yes.
were eerie. They were really eerie.
Yeah. Looked like Lord of the Rings or something, didn't it?
Yeah. So thank
So
goodness.
yeah, they're still burning, but they're under control. Yeah.
Been challenging times, hasn't it? And
So we made up these socks and fill them with sand and stuff them down the downspouts, and then fill the downspouts with water.
wow.
Yeah. So I took them out the other night.
Right,
Because it's
right.
raining.
Because now it's raining. That's the thing. And then you were just in Sydney, weren't you? And that had torrential rainfalls.
I think we had about 60 mil here, which is great. Rain forecast for the whole of the week.
Wow. And with everything that's happened, it's brought us to the topic that we're discussing today. It's all about sense of community.
It has. So there was one day when we were packing up our valuables in a series of suitcases and loading them into a car. And I looked up and down the street, and there's 3 other people in the street doing the same thing at the same time.
Wow.
And then every evening I'd walk up the end of the street and take a picture, if it was a good picture, and post on Facebook. And most evenings, well, every evening there was someone else from the street or nearby that, you know, some of them I'd met, some of them I hadn't. And so we all chatted and we shared our feelings and so on. And we had a very good view. So there was a fire consultant that came up and he was taking pictures for the US Fire Department and stuff. But it was very spectacular. But certainly got a sense of community. We shared our feelings, and you know, it was really interesting. But I also felt supported because since I've been doing networking, this is business networking. You know, I've developed a lot of friends, and so they would contact me and say, "How are you going? And you're right, Harry," and this, that, and the other. And what that does is it gives you a feeling of security, and it lowers your stress levels. It lowers your cortisol level.
Absolutely.
It allows you to cope. And I realized that all I had to do in the end was to do something. A feeling of, you know, feeling useless and anxious isn't a good place to be. So I worked out, well, this is what I can do. So we plugged the gutters and fill them with water. And then we've got a pergola that we built, which is made of plasticized material, like they have outside restaurants and stuff. I thought, well, if we have raining embers, what am I going to do? So I put a sprinkler on the roof so we could turn the sprinkler on and keep it wet. So I'd done what I could do. We got the valuables at my son's. Then we were I would either defend or not and send him off. So having done what I could, then I felt fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You tick all the boxes with what you can do. Just out of interest, what would be the top things that you would take with you if you had to evacuate?
Photographs.
That's my number one too.
Stuff that you've collected, which you could never get again. So there were some, like there was a little silver statue my grandfather made, and there was some statues from Czech Republic, things like that. And we would have taken down all the paintings and put them downstairs, but it didn't get that close. We were concerned about embers because the fire was spotting 5K ahead of the fire front most days.
Wow.
And the fire was 10K away. So it would have only taken two days to get to us, sort of thing, or maybe 2 hours, don't know. They say it happens very fast when it happens, like an express train. Think you've got lots of time, but you don't.
I've seen lots of footage and it was frightening for some.
Yeah.
How quickly it can just come on. But I was just interesting. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but interestingly in Melbourne there's a whole lot of research going on about fireproof houses and materials.
Right.
Yeah. So there's glass which can withstand fire, there's paint they're researching that stands 100 degrees centigrade. There's wall sheets made out of a thing called magnesium oxide, which is fire resistant.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of houses down the coast where all the brick buildings around them were burnt out and these houses survived.
Wow. Wow.
So very interesting.
I didn't realise that about glass. I know. I thought it
And
would.
you can have shutters. You can have steel shutters that come down.
Wow. Very
So
fascinating.
maybe if you're going down the peninsula, Sally, you should, if you were going to build, you should build a fireproof house.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Because you can. So the sense of community supported me during this time of stress. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt connected. I felt supported. And that was wonderful. Really wonderful.
I've got just a few little stats here. 63% of communities empower people frequently or, all the time. And it's quite interesting. The highest one is there's the connection. 65% sort of was around the connection. 76% was about asking questions within your community and then providing solutions, which was up there at about 68%. Another part is being heard, having a voice that people are listening to, 61%. Feeling seen, so it's validating yourself, 60%. And then leading was interesting too within the community. So I know the business at breakfast networking communities you've been involved with have really turned your life around in many ways, haven't they? Really filled up your soul with joy and happiness and really empowered you. And I just see you've found your niche there where your happy place and you enjoy it every week. Having that community where you can meet new people, share your talents and skills and learn about other people as well, and perhaps collaborate in business or, find like-minded people.
Yeah, and it's a really easy forum to collaborate. It's really easy. And it's because of the face-to-face stuff, which I love. And it also goes back, interestingly, to the motivation of the guy that set it up. He had very clear motivation. And so the intent gets back to the intention, which underlies everything we do. And if you've got a good intention, it bears fruit, bears good fruit.
Yeah.
Bad will bear bad fruit. Yeah.
And
so a bit like the stuff you did in Cancun. Yeah?
Sorry?
A bit like the stuff you did in Cancun.
Yes.
Around intention.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one of the greatest, and you've already touched on it, is all about the sharing within a community. You're aligning with either certain values or, interests or attitudes or something, but it's about sharing with that common thread coming through. So like in network.
Sharing, it's also about supporting.
Yep, supporting. I've got that one too. Yeah.
I've got, look, there was a Stanford study done in 1988.
Yeah.
It was a big study, and that showed that social connection is a more powerful driver of health than obesity, smoking, or blood pressure. Yeah, and strong connections will increase longevity, immunity, reduce inflammation, improve mood, that's reduce anxiety and depression, and increase self-esteem.
Yep. Absolutely. Health, happiness, and longevity. You live longer when you have that sense of community.
Yes. And you look at all the green zones, and they're characterized by community. Place, really interesting.
I mean,
so I think one's in the US, and that's a spiritual group, and then there's Okinawa, very strong community. So you've heard of the green zones? That's where people live a long time. Yeah. And there was an Australian study that showed that 25% of Australians feel lonely at least one day a week.
Yep.
And it's concentrated amongst those that have lost a partner over 65, sole parents, and the biggest group is people between 16 and 25.
Is that right? Because we sort of touched on this the other week, and another thing, 16 to 25, it's that loneliness, because sole parents came up because it's so more prevalent, and then losing a partner, but 16 to 25? Whoa.
Lonely and connected.
Yeah, or disconnected, yeah.
I mean, connected on Facebook, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the other thing, because there was quite a few stats about the online communities, but that was particularly with a business focus. And yes, you do have your groups, online communities there. I'm just trying to hear. Look, here we go. From a business perspective, though, businesses now are really tapping into online communities for brand awareness, research, and that sort of stuff. It's now worth over $1.2 billion, the online community market worldwide. 74% of large companies have established online communities. 81% of companies have online support communities. So there's the support, but that's on a business sense. 61% of research companies are now online because, tapping in, it's an easy reach, isn't it? And 60% of businesses own a branded online community. So from a business perspective, there's a great support there. But from, as you said, a social perspective, like particularly with these youngies, with the communities there, they can be quite bullying and, really negative on negative impact on you, on yourself.
Because everybody's presenting a perfect, not everybody, most people present a perfect view of themselves. I'm on the Greek islands looking beautiful, but that's not their whole life.
No, and you know what? My latest saying is that we're all perfectly imperfect. Flaws and all, that makes us perfect, and that makes us beautiful. That makes us us, because nobody's perfect. And that pressure is awful. So I see how it can impact you in a negative way, being a part of that online community, because you're not measuring up. You're thinking, well, I'm just not good enough. And that fear of rejection, not being accepted, all the other stuff that we talk about all the time. I mean, I love communities. The online community, I go on there like for support if I'm looking for some help with some technical stuff or whatever. But it's face-to-face, and you and I are on the same page about that. I mean, for many, many years, I was part of the dog park community. I'm a very big member of the health and fitness community with my taekwondo friends and my bodybuilding friends and whatever it is. And then, like you, surrounding myself with, people of the same tribe. And so even though we're physically not located, we're face to face and we chat all the time. And, the other people.
But we met face to face.
Oh, yeah, we do often.
No, I mean, we first met face to face.
Yeah, that's how we connected.
That's where it happened, yeah.
That's how we connected.
And you've got a big family too.
Yeah, absolutely. And physical family, but also just my colleagues, they're extending far and wide, but it's beautiful. And this was my thing about, community is feeling the energy of people, it's feeling their essence, feeling their warmth, feeling whatever it is, pheromones, whatever it is, but just resonating with people. It's very difficult when it's online, when they're not face to face.
Yeah, Maggie put up a post the other day saying, how do you best like to interact with people?
Oh, I saw that, face to face.
And I put face to face because the hugs are better.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I've still got a strong community of friends from high school and from uni days. And so, now I'm in my 50s.
No, I don't, because...
Well, you were in England, weren't you?
Yeah, and then we've moved too much here. So, it was before Facebook, so we can't track each other.
Yeah.
I've got a good model today.
I bet you have.
Connect, contribute, and cherish. So connect with others, contribute to your group, and that'll increase your health and well-being. If you contribute to your group and cherish yourself and others, you'll build a community. And if you cherish others and yourself and connect, you will captivate the world with your beauty. And of course, all of this will give you a purpose, because without connection, there isn't much of a purpose in my life. It's a bit empty.
Yeah.
You can be a millionaire sitting in a mansion. If you don't have connections, what's the point?
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. You're spot on. Love that, Harry. I've got something similar but different. Same but different. But
I wouldn't expect it to be the same.
Well, I've got share, support, and self-care. So when you're sharing common interests and values with others, and then supporting and empowering yourself where you can be seen and heard, and you can ask questions, find solutions to those questions, then you're going to have a greater connection. when you're supporting and empowering yourself, and then really tapping into that self-care where you're supporting yourself, boosting your self-esteem, your self-worth, that validation, and also your confidence. You know, it's going to boost your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. You're supporting that by, you know, empowering yourself, hanging around more of a community. And then you're just going to feel more important and confident. And then finally, when you're supporting your self-care and sharing common interests and values with other like-minded people, you're just going to be happier. And overall, you're just going to have longevity. You're going to live longer and be happier. And, you know, it's the quality of life. We talk about that all the time. The quality of your life is the key thing. It's not the quantity. Happy to die very happy at 80 as opposed to 108 and, you know, have no quality of life. So that's just my stand on things. But
the 3 steps I've got are really for people who, you know, are halfway through their life or earlier.
Yep.
Invest in long-term networks, number 1.
Yep.
Find an interesting, dynamic interest group. And then connect with others outside your relationship at least once a week.
Yeah. Yep. I think that regular.
You've got to invest in these networks.
Yep. It's like everything that we say, you've got to structure it into your week. Right? It's like it's daily exercise or, you know, whatever. It's just making the time as a priority for that sort of thing.
Yep.
Because life, you know, it's the 24/7 busy world. So it's like everything. Here's your to-do list and bring it up the list in your top 10.
Yeah.
Super important. Super important. We're so connected. I've got my 3 steps. Seek out a community that aligns with your values or common interests. 2, share about yourself and build those connections with other people, either socially or in a business sense. And then 3 is smile. Just, you know, you're going to feel less stressed. You'll feel really supported and you're going to be more content and at ease. Smiling is important because it brings you joy and happiness.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a good bumper sticker. Connect with care was the best one I could say.
Oh, I like that one. I don't think I even did one. No, mine was just find a tribe. That's what I had.
Find a tribe. I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I think it's a really good, it's a good topic to discuss because I'm shocked that 16 to 25 is the highest group of isolated, lonely people. And that's what sense of community brings, that connection and brings you out of that situation, that socialization that you need, that support, that nurturing, you know, and it takes you out of the Debbie Downer, you know, glass half empty. It's just like you can get out of that pity party of woe is me when you're with a sense of community because everyone's going through stuff. Everyone's got challenges. And when you have that support around you, it doesn't make it seem so bad because there's always people worse off than yourself. But it stops that inner focus of like, oh, it's just when you haven't got other things to deflect or distract you, you know, you're doing that downward spiral, that Debbie Downer pity party. It's, oh, my life's not going to get any better, or the blame game or whatever it is. So, you know, you just laugh it off with your mates. It's just like, you know, when you're with people and you fall over and you just brush yourself off because you're in a hurry to get back up with the troop.
But even if you just share it, it'll help.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes you can't laugh.
No, well, it's about just having listening ears as well, you know, to get it up and out. That's huge. It's huge. Huge first step.
Yeah, one of the guys on our Business at Breakfast cried out for help last week. Yeah.
Well, good.
Super confident. Wonderful, but he's in a dark place. Yeah.
And it happens to everybody. Yeah.
Good.
That's great. Great that he felt comfortable enough with the tribe to reach out for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
mental health, honey, that's something that we bang on about all the time. It's just, you know, everyone has good and bad days and sometimes you can plummet very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's where we can pick each other up. I know you've picked me up so many times, Harry, it's not funny. Dusted me off.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Good, Sally. I'll have a bit of a stretch. Ooh.
Oh, good boy. Love a bit of a stretch. Yes. Well, you go and have a nice, beautiful week where you don't have to worry about the fires. It's
yes.
It's my ears, Harry.
Might try and get a radio. We don't have a radio.
Oh, not a wireless?
you know, mobile coverage goes off in about 20 hours where you have a fire.
Really?
Mobile transmitters have batteries in them and they go flat. Then you've got no mobile coverage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I learned.
So the only radio we've got is the car radio. So it's going to try and find a portable radio, battery radio.
Right. Yeah. Well, the things you've learned, eh? Through
Yes, indeed.
challenging times. All right, beautiful. I'll see you
Okay.
next week and look forward to
Yeah,
it.
for sure. See you.
Bye.
Bye.